I was a kid, both my parents had sailboats, but unfortunately they couldn't keep them. Ever since then, I've had the dream of owning my own boat someday. Follow along with me as I restore a 1972 Harris Off America catboat. Welcome to this episode of The Voyage of the Laura-Katherine. In this episode, I'll discuss the issue of the bowsprit that was mounted on the boat and what I decided to do with it. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe and click on that little bell so you can get notifications when new episodes are made. When the Laura-Katherine came to me, she had already been fitted by her first owner with a white bowsprit. I didn't really like the look of the bowsprit, as it made it look like it had a giant buck tooth. But the previous owner before me, I'm the third owner, had said that having the jib up really helped her sailing characteristics when sailing into the wind. I asked around on the forums and discussion boards and decided that I would end up keeping a bowsprit on the boat in the long run, but would end up changing the design of the bowsprit. I had decided that I had wanted something that was solid wood, but didn't really know what I wanted or how to do it. After doing some research, I found a company called North Country Boat Works in Milford, Connecticut that was pretty close to me, and decided to give them a call for some advice. Andy at North Country Boat Works was really gracious in giving me some tips and advice in terms of how to build a new bowsprit for the boat, and suggested that I use Sipo mahogany. He also recommended that I go to a small lumber company up in northern Connecticut called Kellogg Lumber Company. So I thanked Andy very much and still thank him to this day very much for his advice and tips on how to do all this work, and headed up to Kellogg Lumber Company. One of the first things I learned about was that I was going to need a clamp pressure about every 2 to 3 inches along the entire length of the bowsprit. Since there was no way I could afford that many C-clamps, I decided to make my own clamps out of some scrap wood and some bolts I had left over from the trailer restoration that I had done the previous year. Okay, so I'm here on a sunny day. It's now November, and it's been taking a long time to get this bowsprit done. I have a lot of woodwork left to do on it to get it in shape to be installed in the spring, hopefully at some point. But for now, I want to dry fit it and see if I can get the mounting holes drilled from underneath, because the holes are through the deck, through this bottom plate and then actually through the bowsprit. But to do that first, I have to actually get the bowsprit on and clamped down. So that's what I'm going to do. Is clamped on there for now. There's some space. I mean, I have to align this a little better, but there's space here to allow water to get in, but I also have to allow for space for the hardware for the front porthole. And then the mast hole, which will be covered with a boot that goes on the bottom of the mast. And then this is a forestay space I'm not going to use right now. It's going to go up there at the end of the bow, at the end of the bowsprit, and then there's going to be a bobstay underneath here. Alright, well, let's see if I can get the holes drilled. I'm going to go in there from underneath and see if I can drill up through the deck, at least into the bottom plate here, and then I can align it and drill through the top. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I'm inside this little compartment in the bow. It's a little too tight to set the camera up, so I'll just show you what I'm going to end up doing. So we have this jack post that supports the weight of the mount, and the bolts go through the deck holes and through the jack post plate. This is from the original owner of the boat, not the last owner. So I'm going to get up and just drill up through these holes into the bowsprit so that I know that the holes will definitely line up. And my hat went down there. That's the bilge, so I don't know if I'll get it back, but there's my wonderful hair. Okay. Alright, so back up here on the top side, got my hat out of the bilge. It's a little damp, but it's okay. I could take this off. Obviously I didn't drill all the way through here, but that's fine. I just wanted to get up into here and I can finish tapping out the holes later. I am planning on putting the bolts through here and then cutting some custom bungs out of some scrap mahogany that I have. This is made out of SIPO, and then putting those in once it's all buttoned up and put in place. So I'm gonna undo all of this, and if I did this right, I say that because I can't really do this again, so if I messed it up, then that's pretty much all I got. I could just go no bowsprit if I totally screw it up, which is an option. But the boat, when I got it, had a bowsprit on it, so I like that, the option of having a jib on the boat eventually. But let's see what we've got. Cool. I've got 4 mounting holes. And 4 mounting holes. Now on to pack up the boat and get on to winter work. Foxy. Hey, buddy. Alright, so I've got the forestay and bobstay brackets for the bowsprit here. I'm trying to do the pilot holes for this bracket, and then I'm going to continue working on sanding the edges of the bowsprit. I'm also working on the cutout where the forestay, the old forestay chain plate, which is on the boat, comes through this hole. This is the mast hole, mounting bolts, and then this is the part that goes up against the cabin, outside of the cabin. Okay? Alright, let's...
Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. See you soon. Hope you like watching the Laura
and Catherine
in progress.